Hello everybody, Ian Robson. Welcome back to an episode of Coffee with Ian. Ooh, it's hot. Oh goodness. Hope everybody has had a good week, or has had a good week thus far. What is today? Today is November the 3rd. So, that means we're, less than 20 days now until Farm Sim 2019 comes out, which is going to be pretty exciting, which means I probably should get myself in gear for my computer. Now that I think about it, because I would like to have it for FS19, so that would be nice. I'm going to keep a lot of the, well, not some of the same components. This is what I'm going to change. I'm going to change the power supply out. I don't know, for some reason my buddy got into my head a while back that it's not always the best idea to keep the same power supply on a new build, just in case, because it's, in this case this is like 3 or 4 years old now. So if I were to keep that, it could crap out and then break the new components. So I'm going to replace the power supply, motherboard, CPU, power supply, motherboard, CPU, RAM, of course I have to change, and graphics card. So anything else? Because I already have hard drives, I already have the case. I'm going to add it probably, I think with an i7, I don't think they come with their own CPU fan, so I'm going to get a Hyper Evo cooler. Is it Hyper Evo? I think it's a Cooler Master Hyper Evo aftermarket cooler on that, I think. And it looks like last time I checked, what I was thinking of was let me bring up my little build here before I forget about it. Last time I checked, what are we looking at here? Intel i7 8700 core, which is newer than what I have now. Yeah, Cooler Master Hyper Evo 212 Hyper Evo. Gigabyte motherboard, Z370 is what I was working with last time. I may change it, I may not. Corsair Vengeance, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Gigabyte GeForce RTX 2070, 8 gigabyte. Now here's the funny thing about this. So in Canada, let me just do a quick little comparison here. RTX 2070. The funny thing I discovered was I was looking at prices yesterday, or this morning I guess, and I discovered that an RTX 2070 is cheaper than a GTX 1080 Ti, which is kind of funny because you would think it would be the other way around because the 1080 Ti is the old one. Now there was some interesting information about it recently, so I was looking up. I was reading some articles the other day about the RTX series 2070 and the 20. It was focused more on the 2080 Ti, the new one. That's the expensive one. And what they were talking about was the fact that there were some problems, like some issues with the NVIDIA cards, the new architecture, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know if that is an ongoing issue. So when I've read on the reviews on the computer sites, everyone's like, oh, it's an amazing card, you should buy it. Why are you waiting now? So like if you're upgrading from anything less than a 900 series, you should upgrade now, basically. So I have a 760 on my computer, so I'd be going up, what's that, 3 generations? I guess I go 760. Was there an even 800 series? I don't even know. I don't think there may have been. So let's just assume there is, because usually there is. So it would go up to skipping a 7 or 8, sorry, skipping the 9, and then going up. So I'm going up like almost 3 or 4 generations. So it's a pretty huge jump in graphics cards land. And I think I'll be going from, I think what I have now is 4 gigabytes, maybe up to 8 gigabytes. So I'm doubling that. I'm going to double the RAM as well in the computer. And then the CPU is going to be, I have an i5 right now and go up to an i7, so I don't know which generation I have right now. I'd have to look, to be honest with you. I don't think DXDiag will tell me that. Let's find out. DXDiag. So if you're not have no idea what I'm just saying, diagnostic. It's a DirectX Diagnostic is the tool that I was just talking about there. Basically, it tells you what you have in your computer, and it's what DirectX, one of the drivers you need, sort of thing. So yeah, so Intel Core i5 4460 CPU, 3.2 gigahertz. So in comparison to what I was looking at, which was going back to that, was an i7 8700K 3.7 gigahertz. So in terms of gigahertz, not going up a crazy, but we're going up quite a few series there. Yeah, 8 gigabytes RAM now, and then going up to 16, which would be nice. And of course for the display, GTX 760, which is an old 4 gigabytes is what I have in it right now. So I'm doubling the RAM on the actual graphics card too. So I'm still not 100% whether I'm going to go for an RTX 2070, but I think I will. I'm just a little leery about the reviews, not the reviews, but the articles that are coming out, I guess is the best way to describe it. So that's the interesting thing I discovered about the RTX versus the GTX 1080. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So, and the one I'm looking for is a Gigabyte RTX 2070 Giga Gaming overclocked video card, EVGA Supernova 750 watt 80 plus gold certified, fully modular. Modular power supplies are amazing. So you only plug in what you need basically. So you don't have a whole bunch of extra wires, which is really sweet. And yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. So I'm going to try and take a look at that. So apparently I'm going to wait a little bit to see if I can get this price down a little bit as we get closer maybe to Black Friday. Some things I may pick up if they're on sale at the moment, but we'll see. Because I think when I changed the card out, what did I change that was so expensive? I think I changed the motherboard out because I had an older motherboard in there. So anyways, moving away from that and talking about video games. Oh, goodness. So I released a new fact sheet Friday yesterday, because obviously today is Saturday, and today's Saturday, yesterday was Friday, there we go. And they put a picture of a 7R in there, which is pretty slick. No. I want to see this right here, I think it is. No, that's the Australian Farmers one. So they posted a picture of a 7R. So far we've seen, there it is. So far we've seen, 7R series tractor, which is nice. I think we've seen 7Rs. We have seen, this is John Deere, of course, because I work for John Deere, so I guess I'm a little biased in that scenario. Although I do just like green tractors in general, so like, Kloss, Krone, well, they don't make tractors, they make other things. What else was there? The 6R. In the picture they showed a 6250R. So you're gonna have a 6R series, a 5R series, or no, a 7R series, oh my goodness, 7R series, a 6R series, and I don't know if they're gonna have a 5R. I think I saw one a while back. What's this a picture of? No, but it looks like they may have a 5R series as well. So basically, what I deal with specifically in my job, I go up to the a 4000 series, which is like a considered a compact tractor still, and that goes up to 66 horsepower in that scenario. And then after that, you go into the 5 series, which is more of an ag style tractor, larger frame tractor. And then you can go from, what does it start at? You could do a 50 or a 50. I think they have 50 horsepower. Let's take a quick break. I don't sell these tractors very often, or I don't sell these tractors at all for that matter. So that's why I'm not 100% sure of all the models in between. Let's see. They do have a large variety. So whether you go for an E series, M series, and R series, and then that changes a whole bunch of things, and you have 3-cylinder, 4-cylinder options. 545E open station. So 45 horsepower there, 5055 or 55 horsepower, 50, 65, 65, 50, 75, 85, 90, 100. And then in the M's, you have 50, 75, 85, 90, 100, 115. And in the R's, you go up to 125. So 90, 100, 150, and 125. So so you go up to 125 horsepower in the 5 series. So I think they're going to have a 5R series in there. Maybe the only, I don't think they're going to have all the variations, because I don't think you'll notice it very much in I don't think you'll notice it very much in Farm Sim. So looks like they're going to have a 5R. I think I haven't seen pictures of it. I'd have to go search, but 5R series, 6Rs for sure, 7Rs for sure. I don't know if I've seen any 8Rs yet. 8Rs would be large, very large tractors, and they might have 9Rs, I'm guessing. So they may have one in each of the categories. So 5R, 6R, 7R, and 8R, 9R. So like a 9560 RX, something like that with tracks. But they have not showed that as of yet, or at least I don't remember seeing it. So yeah, what's this here? That's the John Deere pulling it, but it doesn't show me what John Deere it is. So it'll be very curious to see all the different different John Deere variations they'll have. And the funny thing is, in some cases, I'll be able to compare the real life tractor, if we have it in the yard at work, for example, versus the game tractor, which would be kind of funny in that situation. So, and of course, there's many other different brands in there. They have New Holland, which you've had in here before. They're going to have New Holland, some new ones and old ones, some Case new ones, old. They're going to have a Fiat tractor, which is really cool as well. Manitou, which is nice. JCB, which is also great. Everyone loves a good JCB fast track. Fendt 500, which is an older, well, I believe that's an older style tractor, which is good as well. And hopefully they have some of the bigger ones in there, like the some of the big 900 series Fendts as well. So that'll be really neat. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. I don't think the gameplay will be, well, the game when you're actually doing the farming side of it, that won't be different. I don't think. It does. I don't see like they've really done anything groundbreaking in that department. However, they have added some things, like I was talking about with Country Gaming and Spudboy about the farms and how you can buy your own tract of land and whatnot, because we were discussing what to do on the server, and it's what we're leaning towards, it seems like, is, you know, people buy their own crop of land, and then they can do, you know, specialize in a certain area for something. So it'll be very curious, like, how that's going to work in the new map, and depending on how many people are on the same map, for example. So I'm very curious about that aspect of it. So I don't know. We shall see how it goes in that. I don't know. So that's what I'm curious about. So like I said, all that to say, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And they've changed that style of it. So as opposed to just having a farm, so they're going to have, you know, 3 different modes. Your what's it? New farmer mode, freestyle kind of mode. I forget they actually named them now. Let me go to this. Country Gaming posted the link for me a while back, so I'll have it very readily accessible. New farmer, farm manager, and start from scratch. So those are the 3 sort of new play modes. So I don't know how that's going to work on a multiplayer map, whether you can choose between those ones, but I suspect we'll probably end up doing farm manager. Maybe starts from scratch. I don't know. Who knows? But the cool thing is, like, on a server scenario, you'll have multiple people doing multiple things. So, for example, like, I'll be able to do, like, a specialize in, let's say I just like doing combining, so I'll specialize in that. So I'll have equipment just associated with that. Whereas Spud, he likes harvesting spuds, go figure, potatoes, so he'll specialize in that. And Country Gaming, I know she loves harvesting sugarcane. No, I'm joking. I know you don't like that very much. But she'll be into, for example, dealing with animals or something like that, or harvesting grass, doing silage, whatever it happens to be. So you can kind of specialize in your own thing. And I suspect you'll have your own equipment, which I think you probably could use on different farms as well. But that's an aspect we'll have to take a look, keep an eye out for. So we're in the last 20 days or so until Farm Sim 19. So it'll be curious to see whether we see some advanced gameplay footage, which I suspect we will. Probably people like, I would suspect maybe Dagger might get an advanced copy, maybe Landy Kid might get an advanced copy. Some of the guys out in Europe, Energy, who's a French gamer, he might get it, for example. So it just depends. They seem really kind of willy. Last time they seemed a little bit willy-nilly with who they gave advanced copies to and who they didn't. So whatever. I'm not too worried about that in either case. I may or may not get an advance copy. I have no idea. They don't tell me these things in advance. Although I suppose I could reach out to them in advance in that scenario. So we shall see. We shall see. And I think with that, folks, I've babbled on and talked about John Deere tractors and video cards and all that for long enough. My name's Ian Robson. I hope you enjoyed. If you like what you saw, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, enjoy the coffee. Lovely.